Picture this: a crowded New York City subway platform on a blistering August afternoon. Stephen Levitt stands there watching, not looking for schedules or delays, but observing how people line up to board the train. Suddenly, he notices something strange: a group of riders skipping the shortest line, heading straight into chaos, yet somehow they get on the train faster. What's going on here? This curious observation about human behavior cracks open a bigger mystery that Levitt and Dubner want you to solve: how thinking like a freak means flipping conventional wisdom on its head. You'd think quitting means failure. Not so fast. Levitt and Dubner challenge the obsession with grit and perseverance. Sometimes, quitting is the smartest move. Ready to rethink what giving up really means. Remember Michael Jordan. Before he became the basketball god, he famously got cut from his high school varsity team. Most see this as a disaster, but Levitt points out that moment forced Jordan to double down on his training, rethink his approach, and ultimately pivot into greatness. Quitting, or getting cut, was the critical nudge, not the end of the story. Persistence is often painted as heroic, keep going no matter what. But think of driving with a broken GPS insisting, recalculating, when it's actually stuck in a loop. Blind persistence can trap you in bad ideas or dead ends. Levitt's principle: know when to stop chasing a losing trail and switch strategies to find a better one. This mindset flips expectation. Instead of chasing sunk costs, freak thinkers quit quickly, pivot faster, and harness quitting as a strategic reset button. It's like a chess player sacrificing a pawn to win the game down the line. What looks like giving up is really a deeper play for success. Freak thinking starts with curiosity that looks wild to others. When the obvious feels wrong, dumb questions cut through noise. Let's dive into why embracing stupid questions is the gateway to smarter insights. In Chicago, Levitt asked kids what crime scared them most, not cops or gangsters, but burglars. This dumb question flipped expectations and led to policing strategies targeting burglary precursors. The result? Crime dropped dramatically. A simple question, dismissed as childish, cracked open a revolutions within law enforcement. Think of a puzzle missing pieces. Dumb questions highlight where those gaps lie. They reset your mental model, forcing you to untangle assumptions you didn't even realize you had. When you ask, "Why would that ever work?" or "What if it fails?" you prime your brain to see alternative solutions popping out of nowhere. Ignoring what everyone knows might feel rebellious, but it's where freak thinking shines. Instead of accepting morality or tradition at face value, the freak method tests ideas against cold facts, a habit that turns intuition and gut feeling upside down to reveal deeper truth. Want to change behavior? Forget preaching. It's all about incentives. Levitt and Dubner dissect why even the best intentions crumble without the right carrot or stick. Febreze launched as an odor remover and bombed. Why? Because people want to feel clean, not just mask smells. The geniuses behind Febreze repositioned it as a reward for cleaning. Spritzing meant "I'm done, not cover stink." Sales skyrocketed. The lesson: understanding true incentives changes how products succeed. Incentives are like invisible puppeteers guiding daily choices. Imagine trying to herd cats with empty promises versus tasty treats. People respond to what tangibly improves their lot. Whether money, status, or freedom, incentives rewire behavior deeply and predictably, far beyond moral appeals or logic. Here's the kicker: incentives often clash with intended goals. Levitt's freak rule: always map the real incentives driving behavior before trying to change it. Only by aligning what people really want can you steer outcomes, whether in business, education, or social policy. Adults complicate problems. Kids strip them down. The freak approach borrows childlike wonder to find simplicity in chaos and spot solutions adults miss. But how do you reclaim that mindset? Levitt tells of a classroom experiment. Kids tackling complex math, but allowed to ask dumb questions and change the problem as they wanted. Not only did their solutions improve, but they approached problems without fear or bias. Their secret, playfulness, wore down complexity into something manageable. Think about a toddler stacking blocks. Stripped of rules, they experiment wildly. Freak thinking mirrors this by breaking down messy problems into smallest parts. Instead of drowning in details, you isolate factors like a scientist in a lab, measuring one variable at a time for crystal clear insights. The payoff: when you adopt a child's mindset, you escape the trap of "it's always been done this way" and embrace possibility. Complex problems shrink, and solutions become almost playful challenges to conquer, freeing you from grown-up paralysis. Talent overrated. Levitt and Dubner argue that quirks, persistence, and smart choices often beat raw skill. Ready to hear why? It might change how you chase success. Levitt found that a person's success isn't just about IQ or skill, but quirks like impulsivity or risk tolerance. In a study of Wall Street traders, those with controlled risk quirks outperformed the naturally talented. This quirk's angle rewrites who we think wins in high-stakes arenas. Perseverance here isn't mindless grind. It's about smart endurance, knowing when to push and when to pivot. Like marathon runners who pace themselves, this balance outperforms those burning out early with raw talent alone. The ultimate freak insight: find your mental quirks and lean into them instead of pretending they don't exist. Success doesn't come from fitting molds, but from playing your own game with authenticity and strategy. Remember that subway scene, chaos disguised as order? That's freak thinking in practice, seeing what others miss by rejecting assumptions. Levitt and Dubner showed us how quitting isn't failure, how stupid questions crack open mysteries, and how incentives puppeteer our actions. So here's your challenge. Next time you face a problem, pause and ask, what if I'm thinking like everyone else? Try the freak method. Quit what wastes time, ask the dumb questions, and track incentives like a detective. You might just hack your way to smarter, better decisions. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.